MPs will challenge the government's Brexit bill today when it returns to the Commons for a further 3 days of debate.
Dozens of Tories are expected to rebel and back amendments along with Labour and the SNP. Joining us now are the Mail's Andrew Pearce and Kevin Maguire from the Daily Mirror. Good morning.
Morning.
Both of you. Of these amendments, Kevin, which do you think would be the most significant?
I think the most significant would be that MPs would have a meaningful vote at the end before the deal is accepted, with the power to reject it, deciding whether or not Brexit go ahead. I think that would be the main. I think it's Section 1 or New Section 1, I think it's called, yeah.
Okay.
And with regards to that, though, Andrew, can you see it not happening now? I mean, there are going to be certain MPs that are going to rebel, of course.
Well, if it doesn't happen, there will be such a hue and cry in the country. It would be like the Great Peasants' Revolt of 800 years ago. There will be stampeding to the Houses of Parliament. The British people have voted for this. And when they got that leaflet through their door, cost them £9 million, only putting one side of the argument, it said quite clearly, this is your referendum and the government would accept the result. So all these wretched, irritating Liberal Democrat MPs, Labour MPs, and one or two Tories as well, who are trying to put amendments in, what they're really trying to do is delay it or even wreck it. I heard a Lib Dem only last night on the radio saying, I can't give a guarantee that we won't stop Article 50 being triggered.
Okay,
really?
So, well,
they've got 9 MPs.
You know, so there's only 9 out of 650. Why do you keep going on about them? The fact is, most MPs will vote for Brexit.
Good.
It's just the terms of the departure. And you want to safeguard so people aren't poorer.
So there are more than 100 amendments being attached to this, but how many of them are actually likely to change this bill? Or is this just sort of everybody feeling like they get a say? And actually, the bill just goes ahead anyway?
Exactly what it is. It makes them feel good. It makes them feel they've done their bit if they're in a Remain constituency or a Leave constituency. It's going to go through. They should just get on with it and stop wasting time.
It's called democracy. It's really whether our...
It's called hot air, and you know all about that.
It's whether our elected MPs shape Brexit and the terms and trade and security, prosperity, jobs, or you leave it to a Prime Minister who didn't win an election herself.
Except that I think that people watching will totally get that it's democracy if it actually has an effect.
Yeah.
But if actually this is just people putting their hands up and saying, I want to say, and none of it actually has any influence on the actual bill that goes through, what is the point?
Yeah, it depends on the Tory rebels, really, because Theresa May's got a majority in the House of Commons, so if all the Conservatives vote with her, she'll be like a medieval monarch, being able to call all the shots herself.
Yeah, OK, so where is the opposition in all of this? Jeremy Corbyn has said we're not going to hold up this bill. So what is the point of an opposition in this particular scenario?
But and yet people like Diane Abbott, the Shadow Home Secretary, mysteriously absented herself from the crucial vote last week.
Well, she had a migraine,
apparently. But, you know, there's a system in Parliament where you can nod it through. You don't even have to be physically in the division lobby, but if you're somewhere on the parliamentary estate, it's a very thin piece of excuse by Diane Abbott. She should do the right thing by her party. But
also, I think that if somebody does have an objection to voting on the three-line whip or an objection to a bill, why not say that you do? Because isn't that part of a democracy? Rather than saying, and I don't know the reasons. She said that she has a migraine. But if there was someone who hadn't gone to the vote for a reason that's political, why not say that?
You're right, and you could. And, of course, she said she had a migraine. There's one Labour MP who's having treatment for cancer. He turned up. Another's just recovered from a cancer op on his stomach. He turned up. So I think it's her closeness to Jeremy Corbyn and their friendship. And she's clearly got doubts about breakfast, serious doubts, come from a very Remain part of London. Labour is incredibly split. It's probably split more than any other party on this. And it's very difficult to keep it all together.
So all of this democracy that you're talking about, it's not helping anybody because, as Andrew was saying, this hot air, and it's undermining Jeremy Corbyn's leadership because he can't keep...
But also, Ben, what it also means is this: when the Prime Minister goes into that negotiating room with fellow EU leaders, she's always going to be thinking about what is that ragbag collection of MPs doing behind me saying, I can't do this, I can't do that. They're tying her hands. We should let her go into battle for Britain as best she can, and then she comes back with a deal which can be put to MPs.